This is part 4 of a series of videos where we build the Google Sheets stock portfolio tracker. We are building this free tool that we can use from our phones or computers. It requires minimum data entry, it tracks our stocks, it shows charts that help us visualize our investments, and it also tracks our portfolio performance against the S&P 500. In this upcoming video, we are building a few charts that will help us visualize our investments both by percentage and by dollar amount. My favorite way of creating charts in Google Sheets is by starting from a pivot table. So I'm creating a pivot table from the data that I have in my portfolio spreadsheet, and I'm just adding it in the existing sheet on cell Q4. This is going to help in the future whenever I'm adding new data, whenever I'm sorting and doing all the stuff. My charts are going to stay the same because they are going to reference the pivot table. Now to configure the pivot table, I just need to add some rows and some values. For the rows, we're adding company names, and for the value, we're adding the total value of our investments. We don't need to show the grand total, so I'm going to uncheck the show totals checkbox. And for the value, we are going to sort by the sum of value in descending order. We want the biggest investments to be first. And I'm going to close this, and this is all we need from this pivot table from now. And now it's time to create our charts. First, I'm referencing the whole range where I have the pivot table, and by default I have a pie chart. If you don't have a pie chart, then please select pie chart. From there, I'm just going to change the name to portfolio allocation and play around with its style a bit, make it 3D. I think it looks better, and obviously you have a lot of options in here that you can play around with. For my example, I'm just going to add a donut hole in there. Then we can also customize how each individual company is colored, or we can make it stand out. But I think for this example, a simple chart is all we need. So I'm just going to move it under the portfolio table, make it a bit smaller, and now our portfolio tracker will start looking like a dashboard, like a professional dashboard. And next, we are going to create another chart. This time, instead of having a pie chart, we are going to select a new chart type, and we're selecting the second option, which is a column chart. We are going to name this portfolio allocation by dollar amount. This is going to show each individual company how much we invested in it exactly, and they are going to be in descending order from the biggest to the smallest investment. We're adding a major step of $500 just to make it more relevant, and we're picking the data label options, which we are going to make bold just to see how much we invested in each individual company. And now we're closing this menu, and we are going to move the chart next to the other chart and minimize it a bit just to make it look better. This was part 4 of a series of videos where we create a stock portfolio from scratch. If you want to see the last part where we make some improvements to our spreadsheet and we discuss how to use it in the future, check out the link in the description that will take you to that video. And thanks a lot for watching part 4.